We are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2, text number 44 and 45. Very nice shlokas and not easily understood also. Especially the 45th shloka is sometimes bewildering. What does it mean? So we'll try to understand. Please chant with me, after me. Before that I'll chant Mangalacharan. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता चैप्टर 2 टेक्स्ट नंबर 44। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्ताना it looks like as if you have been fasting since 15 days. I think we have fed you nicely yesterday in the evening, my dear Anish Prabhu. So I want to chant nicely. Bhogesh, and you had eaten too much Rudra, so you should also chant nicely. And Gaur Gopal Prabhu is the first who is taking prasadam. So everybody, and he's a devotee kitchen man only. So there is no dearth of prasadam. So eating nicely, so speaking nicely also. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्ताना तया परहत चेतसाम व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्ताना तया परहत चेतसाम व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। On chant, please chant. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। अमरनाथ रूप चिरपेंडी। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते। Gaur Gopal Prabhu, you want to chant? It's not a problem. You want to chant? Okay. This is a very easy shloka to understand. We know the theme what is going on in the 3 shlokas, that means 42, 43 and 44. The Lord is explaining why those people who are attached to material enjoyment, they are not having a fixed intelligence in Krishna consciousness. So this is the 3rd shloka in the theme. Do you remember last week to discuss with like that? So now let us understand the meaning of the words. Very easy, very. Bhog Aishwarya Prasaktanam. Asakta means attached and prasakta means very nicely attached. It's very easy. It's not very easy Sanskrit. So now those who are very attached to bhoga, enjoyment, and aishwarya, power, because of that attachment, taya apaharit chetasam. Apaharan. You understand apaharan? Apaharan means kidnapping, forcibly taking away. And taya, by these desires, apaharita chetasam. Chetasam means consciousness. Their consciousness is kidnapped, so to speak, by these desires. So they cannot see their real welfare, that this material enjoyment is not giving them happiness. They can't understand. Now, are we not seeing such kind of people in this world? They are suffering like anything. but they will engage in the same activity which will make them suffer. And not only that, they will also cause their children or kids to do the same activity which will make them suffer. And when the kid will do bhakti, they'll say, now why are you doing bhakti? It may appear to you that Hiranyakashipu was enjoying, but do not think like this. He was in constant anxiety. He had all the sense gratification available at his disposal, which is inconceivable for us, even of Swarga, because he was the ruler of 3 planetary systems. And still his heart was dissatisfied. How can you call that a person is happy? If he is dissatisfied, how can he be happy? Just like fish out of water cannot be happy by anything. So now, what is the result of the consciousness being kidnapped? Then Lord is saying, Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Vyavasayatmika buddhi means, Vyavasayatmika buddhi means fixed, resolute intelligence, one pointed. I will do the tapasya, whatever is needed to realize myself. Realizing Krishna is the next step. First thing, I'll realize myself. But such kind of buddhi, samadhu na vidhiyate, does not happen in such a person's consciousness. And you see, in your preaching efforts, you will see how those people who are attached to material enjoyment, no matter how much you preach that we are soul, not the body, it just does not enter their hearts. So then we should give them prasadam, we tell them to chant Hare Krishna, little bit, 1 round, 2 round, like this, slowly, then they understand. I've seen with some of my relatives who just could not chant Hare Krishna. So Krishna had to give them misery. One of my relatives had 14 lakh rupees worth money, all gone, finished. So that person was crying. I said, no, Krishna had to do it because when you had that money, you were not listening to my words. So you understand this point? I was praying for that devout person to that maybe he become devotee. I did not know how the Krishna will do the operation, but he did a nice operation. Now he understands, oh, this is no happiness. Before we go forward, think about this. Whatever bhakti you have done is only because of that you are able to understand Bhagavad Gita very easily now. Does it make sense? You have done this tapasya of chanting Hare Krishna from this day and go back whenever you began chanting Hare Krishna. In the first day, maybe you will not be able to understand. But because you have heard, because we have heard the advice of devotees, somehow that by good fortune, we have chanted Hare Krishna. Now Krishna is bringing this knowledge in front of us. And we can understand it also. This was always there. But now because of that tapasya you have done, chanting Hare Krishna, you are also able to understand Bhagavad Gita. And again, it also inspires us to do chanting Hare Krishna further. I think this must be happening to you. When we hear Bhagavad Gita, no matter how I feel when I chant Hare Krishna now, I remain convinced, no, this is the only thing which is good for me. Does it mean? We must understand, tapasya means it is not pleasing to you. If somebody says, I don't like chanting Hare Krishna or Japa, you are not supposed to like it. What? What you are saying? It is full of bliss, niryasi, madhuri pura. Yes, my dear devotee, but you are afflicted with avidya. If a person has fever, he is not supposed to taste the food. He is supposed to eat the food, but it's expected that he won't taste. We are not tasting it the way Srila Rupa Goswami is tasting. But having faith in the words of Acharyas and Shastra, not having faith on our present experience. Our present experience is sense gratification is very good and serving Krishna is not good. So not having faith on sense gratification, we should have faith on Krishna's word. We should remain fixed on one pointed goal. I want to achieve Krishna's lotus feet. If you see the shloka, the first part, what does it show? They have faith in sense gratification. And that's why they cannot have fixed faith on Krishna's words or Shastra's words. Na anyat astiti vadina. There is nothing except sense enjoyment. There is nothing except promises of superior sense enjoyment in Vedas. That's what the Veda Vadarathas were saying in the text number 42 and 43. Remember, we discussed yesterday. Very important point. Now, we must remember, if we associate with such kind of people, Bhogashwarya Prasaktanam, then we are also, consciousness also will be Apaharata Chetasam. That happens with so many devotees also. Only because of bad association that they think that their goal of life becomes replaced from Krishna consciousness to Maya consciousness. Be very careful with that. It's all a matter of association. Before I go further in this shloka, there's a very beautiful point which I want to say in regard to our association which we are having every day. We are actually so fortunate that we are actually able to see devotees doing devotional service. Seriously. Serious devotees doing serious devotional service. And we cannot see how much it actually inspires us. And we are seeing it also, obviously. Day after day, we are looking forward. At least I'm looking forward to wake up early in the morning and chant with the devotees. What an amazing transformation. And this is happening by the, obviously, technology or whatever, by mercy of technology, by mercy of Zoom boys, whatever they have made, with even a person who is newly coming to Krishna consciousness. You cannot just see. The point what I'm trying to say, those people whose consciousness has been lost to sense enjoyment are visible to us everywhere. Is it not? Is it difficult to find? On YouTube and everywhere. Only gross sense enjoyers are there. Only on whatever, say, association like this, where actually with their eyes can see, oh, there are some people who are endeavoring to realize Krishna. And those who are staying in temple, they can see some devotees endeavoring to realize Krishna. We just cannot imagine our good fortune. If you try to read Bhagavad Gita on your own every day 8 to 9, is it possible? I can challenge. Always there will be something which is more important. And now if somebody comes, I say, hold on, I have my class going on. Yeah, come. Every day we can hear Bhagavad Gita. It's not whole life we can discuss Bhagavad Gita like this. I can challenge you. One day if you don't come to class and just see 7 to 8 in the evening, what you are going to do. Very difficult to have fixedness in that. You know why I'm saying all this thing is the association of devotees which helps us to have this Vyavasayatmika intelligence. Even if we know that the goal of life is Krishna, only in the association of Vaishnavas we get the strength to pursue that goal. It's a beautiful shloka what we're hearing in front of. Bad association, those who have materialistic people, if we associate with them, we'll focus on becoming IAS officer, this and that, whatever. Before I go forward, I would also like to add, suppose you go for a job and there is nobody in the office. Would you like to do your job? We have to be inspired to do material things also by the association of those people who are doing those things. Is it not? How much more we need for our spiritual cultivation. It's a very important lesson we want to learn from this shloka, that bad association will also kidnap our consciousness, aparat, and we will not be able to focus on the goal of life. And our whole human life might get completely, misutilized. Understand? Be very careful about your association. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. One thing more you should learn from the translation, and you can observe also, anybody, he's moving around his world carrying his thoughts with him. Do you agree? Very beautiful point. We are carrying ourselves, is it not? But we don't carry only ourselves, we carry our thoughts with him. And our thoughts indicate what we are attached to. And whatever we are attached to, that's what we want to speak. And please open your ears and hear. When a person speaks to about those subjects of which he is attached to, that attachment through the sound vibration goes through our ears and enters into our heart. Whatever he thinks or appreciates as his goal of life as something very nice. I think you are able to appreciate what I'm trying to say. Yes. Gita Bhushan commentary. That's why Maya Bhati Bhashya Sunile Hoy Sarvanash. If a person thinks that he can become God or God is impersonal, if we hear it, we will also think like that. Okay, Gita Bhushan commentary. Also, I request devotees here to at least wake up by 3:30 so that they can complete their rounds by 7:15. Possible? You are anyhow doing it. You must be finishing. What is your opinion? 3 p.m., 3:15, not easy, difficult. Yeah, so you can, why you're not able to complete the rounds then? No, but even if you wake up at 3:20, then you can easily 4 to 4:30 you can chant 4 rounds or whatever. I don't know.
So at morning you samadhi.
अच्छा, you are going for samadhi आते हो, ठीक है, ठीक. Those people attached to the power and enjoyment mentioned in the previous verse are absorbed in those things because those objects do not manifest their temporary nature. Amazing, amazing if you think about this. People are attached to women. People are attached to power. If you can get this, what amazing commentary. But those objects, when a person is enjoying, he cannot conceive that these are temporary. बहुत सिंपल बात है, पकड़ेंगे ना तो बहुत जबरदस्त बात हो जाएगी. Amazing point. When a person is enjoying material objects, if you tell, अरे आपका धन तो बहुत दिन नहीं रहने वाला, your money will not remain, your youth will not remain. But the person who's enjoying, he cannot understand this. Can you catch this ball I'm throwing now? It's an amazing thing. The more we enjoy sense gratification, although we are seeing that my father has died, he could not take anything with him. He just wasted my life. And now my mother also will die. And my sister will also. Everybody will die. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Shesha sthavara icchanti kim ascharya atah param. Have you not heard this? Highest surprise is every day we see people die. But those people who are staying here, they think they are not going to die. At least not today. Yes? Why it is like this? I can't explain what has been just spoken by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Amazing. Because those objects do not manifest their temporary nature. This is amazing. I mean, I'm feeling so happy just to read this. How people become bewildered for whatever. One of our devotees' father, he said, मरते दम तक मैं पैसा कमाऊंगा. और उनसे पूछो दम निकल जाएगा तब पैसा क्या करोगे? He has seen that till the last breath of my life, I'll earn money. And he has seen his elder brother, I think 1 year back, leaving his body. But he just cannot understand that this is all temporary. So when we meditate on this shloka seems very easy. But if you start meditating on it, it becomes more fragrant. And it pervades your consciousness all throughout it. We can see how, if you chant Hare Krishna, you hear Bhagavad Gita, actually we can see all those things are temporary. So we make use of, hear very carefully, we make use of temporary things to attain the eternal. You got it? My tongue is not going to remain all the time with me. This body is going to finish. So using my tongue, if I chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this tongue has no value after my death. But if I chant Hare Krishna, I'll get eternal benefit. Is it not? It's not intelligence. My tongue and eyes, I'm now seeing Bhagavad Gita. All these things are temporary. But if my consciousness is fixed on going back to Godhead, I'll get eternal results by doing those things. I think you're getting it. Yes. That is devotees' intelligence. Their discriminating knowledge, Chetasam, has been plundered by attractive but deceptive words. Taya aparit. Amazing. I mean, I feel so amazing things. First thing, people are very intelligent now. I am seeing they get very good grades in the examination. So they have intelligence, but they don't have vivek. There's a difference between intelligence and the difference between, a real subtle difference between vivek. Vivek, you understand? Vivek means sar, buddhi. Sar means what is essence, asar means what is useless. That they don't understand. They may get very high salaries, they may be very intelligent, crunching numbers and doing all those things. Is it not? Are you seeing? But they do not have vivek. Vivek samajhna, sar. What is eternal, what is temporary, that they don't have. And actually I laugh at it. They may be earning good salaries, but they cannot understand this life is very temporary. It should not be spent for sense enjoyment. An amazing thing is that some people take advice from those people who do not have absolute vivek. Is it not, Ashok Prabhu? Some people do like that. They listen to some of their relatives who do not have any vivek. Do you agree? Yes, he agrees because he's doing that. Oh, my father is said to get married and not join Brahmacharya ashram. He is the ultimate Brahmagyani. I will hear from him. Is it not? Just like Hiranyakashipu also was so intelligent, but he did not have that Chetasa. Beautiful mind. Chetas means consciousness, discrimination. This is good, this is bad. No. Even materialists also have this good and bad thing. But their good and bad are both bad because they are all temporary. They never select between temporary and eternal. They only say this good and this bad, but as per their sense gratification. Prabhupada explains it like wet stool and dry stool. Which is better, Rudra Prabhu? You're laughing. I think dry stool is better than wet stool. It doesn't stick to the hand. We have to prasadam. That's what this world is. Whether you go to Swarga or go downwards, all useless for the conditioned soul, for the soul proper. Okay, so their discriminating knowledge has been plundered by attractive but deceptive words. And do you remember what were the attractive and deceptive words from the yesterday's discussion of Vedas? Do you remember that? You will get eternal piety if you do Chaturmasya Yajna. Chaturmasya Vrat, sorry. Oh, and what will I get from the piety? Beautiful woman, nice power. It doesn't talk about Krishna. And eternally. But is it not deceptive? Is Swarga eternal? Yes, Prabhu. No. So now you understand? Just like some people who are robbers, they will make a whole deception that we are your friends, and then they will capture you. That's how the words are plundered by attractive but deceptive words. Okay? Does it make sense? This is not only happening with the Vedas, in this world also, so much promises are made that you do this job, you do this company, you join this company and we'll become happy. And are we not enamored by all those things? Is it not? If I'm not wrong, in South India, there is a lot of craze for going to America. If I'm wrong or sorry, right? I heard that even Brahman families, if the boy is intelligent, they will make him software engineer. And if the boy is little less intelligent, they said, okay, make him a pujari. Is it true? I don't know. Oh, so our Amarnath Prabhu has given nice information. Oh, my dear devotees, please hear very carefully. This is very, very important for you if you want to go to America. What is that information? If there is Telugu Balaji, if you do 108 parikramas, you get visa to America very nicely. Arey, Amarnath Prabhu should give class. He's a better teacher. So like that. But don't understand how America is so miserable, is it not? Anyways, our culture is completely different from, if at all, if there is some culture now in India, but it's different from what America is. Very strange, actually, very strange. And even airport, if you see them, they're so different from us, completely different from Indians. I'm not criticizing, but just their style and attitude is very, very different from us. Anyways, fixed intelligence, you have it for? Fixed intelligence does not take place in their minds, samadhau. According to the Nirakti, samadhi means the mind that within which the true nature of Atma is fully contemplated, samyak adhiyate. So that means in the mind he can understand, and that everybody can understand, is it not? I am not my hand, I am not my eyes, I am not my nose. And we speak also, meri kidney mein problem hai. I have some problem in my kidney. It's not that I kidney. I am not my kidney. Generally also we speak, is it not? Mere stomach mein problems hai. Yesterday I told, no, I had some problem in my stomach. You are not the stomach. When I was returning yesterday, did you see that dead dog? And there was a dog which was lying dead on the road. Now, if a human being gets killed, his body also manifests the same opulences which are within our body. One must reflect upon this. This body is bad. We don't have to kill the body, but we have to make use of the body so that we go back to spiritual world and get our spiritual body. We should be fixed on this. Just like a person is fixed in in this world, you see, fixed in becoming an IAS officer and all those things. But these are all illusory promises, nothing to do. Just imagine Amarnath Prabhu You are a normal boy, I am a normal person. And on the day when Vaikuntha plane comes, bang on, eternally you become eternal associate. Eternally. Can you understand the benefit? If that benefit is in front of us, then nothing else matters in this world. पता नहीं मैं ही देख रहा हूं, I'm just seeing the devotees not have that goal in front. That's why they leave Krishna consciousness. We have to do nothing practically to gain everything. 2 hours of sadhana of 16 rounds is just nothing. Our one devotee who was done tantra, he says they used to do such amazing sadhana in the sense 3 days they will not even drink a drop of water to get some small siddhi. We simply have to chant Hare Krishna 2 hours minimum, not maximum, minimum, take prasadam, be a humble devotee, not fight with devotees, go back to Godhead. Mahaprabhu himself says anybody who chants even once Krishna and doesn't criticize others, he will personally deliver him. What an easy way, is it not? There can be nothing easier than this. But Amarnath Prabhu, have you seen devotees slipping? Slipping means going away from Krishna consciousness. Why? What is the answer? Same thing. Not hearing and hearing mundane talks. Then they think this is much better than Krishna consciousness. That's why Samayak Adhiyate. Okay, purport. It will not happen with then consciousness. Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti says, Samyak Adhiyate Asmin Atma Tattva Yathatmayam. When the mind, see here this, Samyak Adhiyate Asmin. Asmin means in this. Atma Tattva Yathatmayam. He can understand properly Atma Tattva, that is called Samadhi. It's a very important point. A devotee understanding that I am an eternal servant of Krishna, he remains fixed in this Samadhi, which is practically done by doing various service of Krishna one after another. I will not go forward unless you understand this point. And I'll ask you, what does it mean? Practical Samadhi means I am a servant of Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna. It is my eternal swarup to serve Krishna. This is very clear. So one after another, I will be engaged in Krishna's service only. The form of the service may change, but the attitude of service will not change.
No gap.
No gap. We were chanting Hare Krishna, then we went to Guru Puja, or before that we went for Mangalarti. Now we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, then we take prasadam, then we do some practical service, then we need to take some rest, whatever, for the body, whatever. But there should be no gap. Does it make sense? If you're taking care of the body for service, that is also not away from devotional service. That's Prabhupada explains that. Is it getting in? And if we do that, not because authority is telling, but with our own intelligence, if the authority is, if there is no service, I should read or chant or hear, do something as far as possible. Do something. I'm talking especially about the brahmacharis who have no other engagements. And those who have to work, then they have to work obviously for 8 hours. But not that my goal of life is to do that job. Not that my goal of life is to get the daughter, what a sister married. I did not go to my only sister's marriage. And you know, she has 2 kids also. Nobody is stopping for us. Does it make sense, Yash? Never put Krishna consciousness priority, never allot Krishna consciousness priority to others. And it's amazing, my sister loves me also. Hey, why don't you? I'll cook for you, I'll cook for you. It's amazing, you know. I did so bad thing for her. I did not went to her marriage, not even gave 1 rupee to her up till now. And still she loves me. So I'm convinced, 100% convinced. Just imagine if he died today, anybody is going to wait for us, hey, he has died, I will not marry. It will not happen. I'm just saying, this is called self-created duties. This is not our duty. Our only duty is to serve Krishna. If we are convinced, then it's Atma Tattva Yathatmayam. Then our mind is fixed. Please try to understand, I'm not saying we should not do the needful. Whatever needful has to be done, will be done, has to be done. But mind should be fixed on Krishna. Does it make sense? Okay. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in Samadhi. But what is the point of... Leave it. See, if we actually can meditate, every day at least for a few minutes we should meditate and think that I am eternal soul. And this life is, and next life will be, and next life. So why you want to get married for this much time? and again this much time, and get entangled for this much time. And then you can say, Prabhuji, my entanglement will also be for this much times. Yes, but then this can cause many entanglements in previous next lives like this. You know? Do you agree, Prabhuji? What is your experience of Grihastha life? Do you think that actually entanglements are there? Is it not? It's a fact. And it's very difficult to cut those threads. Or even though a person knows there is no relationship with my actually daughter and sister or whatever. I have nothing to do with them. I've taken so many bodies. But amazing illusion rises from this. Sister, this, that, it's just amazing, is it not? क्यों मेरे में बात फंसी रहती है इसलिए आ जाती है मुंह से मेरे, लेकिन क्षमा कीजिएगा. जस्ट Samadhi is never possible for a person interested in material sense enjoyment and bewildered by such temporary things. And we have heard this. The temporary things should reveal that they are temporary. But because they are in enjoyment, they have interest in sense enjoyment, they forget that it's like this. Are you getting the point? Very interesting example. Badri Narayan Maharaj, he tells, he was having the same idea, consciousness. He's a son of a millionaire actually. So in America, one devotee was preaching, and he always says that I was always convinced that people just don't know how to exactly enjoy. If they know how to exactly enjoy, then their life will be pakka, because he was a millionaire son. So now, then one devotee preached to him that this place is a place of misery. Then Maharaj, at that time a boy, he said, you are fool. You don't know how to actually enjoy. That's why you're saying like this. Then the devotee told a very important point. He said, no matter how much you enjoy, how much a person tries to enjoy, nobody gets out alive from this world. And that was like hitting the nail on the head. That changed his whole life. He became a Hare Krishna devotee. No matter how much a person tries to enjoy, he has to die. I mean, it may appear very simple to you, but his whole reality changed by that. And also one more thing he said that, very interesting. As a kid, he bought a candy bar. And the candy bar the package was very big. And he paid $2 or whatever for it. And then when he opened the packet, there was one more packet inside. And then when he opened that packet, there was another packet inside, and there was a very small candy. So this is how, he said, this is how Maya cheats us. She promises you will get very nice enjoyment, but you get very less from what you are paying for. Is it not? They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Okay. Can we have text number 45 also? Yes. Look at the watch. But I am not looking at the watch. Please chant after me. Now, after explaining in 3 shlokas how people are bewildered by material desires and their mind is not fixed on spiritual realization, the Lord will explain how. Hey, today is Sunday, na? अरे आज जॉब पे जाना ही नहीं है, क्या दिक्कत है? मैं तो कुछ चिंता ही नहीं है. Prasadam तो devotee kitchen in charge is here with us. Just give a call to Karnamit Prabhu. Nice Prasadam. Extra sweet for extra class. This is going to be a very revealing shloka to you. Why Vedas are promising these things, what are the different divisions of Vedas, and how Vedas are actually bringing a gross conditioned soul to the level of self-realization. Are you able to understand these points? So now the Lord is instructing Arjuna that how he should behave. He should not behave like a materialistic person. Please chant with me. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandva Nitya Sattvastho Niryoga Chema Atmavan Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryoga Chema Atmavan Very bewildering shloka here, very carefully. Tre gunne vishaya Veda. The Vedas are primarily means mainly dealing with three modes of material nature. There are people affected with different modes of material nature, mode of ignorance, passion and goodness, and they desire happiness as per goodness, passion and ignorance. So that management only is prescribed in the Vedas. A person who's in mode of ignorance is prescribed this kind of rules, in passion that kind of rules, and in goodness that kind of rules. But then Lord says, Nistraya Gunnyo Bhavarjuna. O Arjuna, you rise above these modes of material nature. So now it may appear to us that Lord is telling Arjuna to not follow Vedas. Are you able to understand this point? Many times this confusion comes. Vedas, people, how they understand wrongly this shloka. Vedas only deal with three modes of material nature, and you rise above the modes of material nature. So it appears that the Lord is telling you give up Vedas. But that is not the point. The answer is, the proper understanding is, the Vedas are primarily dealing, that means primarily is large part is karma kanda, but it also deals with those aspects which will help a person rise above the modes of material nature. It also gives bhakti. Bhakti is not outside Vedas. Does it make sense? Shruti Smriti Puran Adi Pancharatrikam Vidhi Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhakte Utpate Vekalpate. Bhakti which is not in accordance with Shruti and Smriti, that means Vedas and Puranas, that is only creates disturbance. So Bhakti is not going out of the purview of Vedas. Nigamakalpataru Galitam Phalam. Bhagavatam is the fruit of Nigamakalpataru, Vedas. Is it becoming clear? One should not become attached to the Karma Kandiya portion of the Vedas. That is the meaning of first line. Traya Gunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraya Gunya Bhavarjuna. Do not become attached to the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, render devotional service and rise above these modes of material nature. Does it make sense? Okay. And how he says that Nirdvando, Nitya Satvasto. Nirdvanda means tolerate the dualities as the Lord has explained in Matra Sparshastu Konteya. Shitoshna Sukhutukada Agam Paino Nityas Tam Titasya Subharata. Yam hi na Vithantyete Purusham Purushashabha Sama Sukha Dukam Dhiram Somratvaya Kalpate. A person who tolerates his dualities and remains fixed in his dharma, he becomes eligible for liberation. We have explained that at that point. If I identify too much with my body, then I'll say, this is too cold today. How can I take bath and go for Mangalarati? How can I execute my dharma? You understand? I'm too sad now. I cannot chant Hare Krishna. I don't feel like chanting Hare Krishna. Does it make sense? Are we seeing some people like this? If you see like that, and they cannot remain fixed in doing their their duties in Krishna consciousness. So the Lord is saying, Nirdvanda, you tolerate these dualities and remain fixed in the dharma by which you realize the self. ऐसा तो नहीं मैं बोलता ही जा रहा हूँ, समझ में कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा. नित्य सत्वस्थो निर्योग shema. Niryoga shema means whatever has not been achieved by you materially, don't worry about it. And whatever it is with you, don't worry about it. Same this, na shuchati, na kangshati. Atmaman, you remain fixed in this concept that I am Atma. I have nothing to do with this material world. Very important point. Nitya Satvasto, we'll see how to proper translate. I'm not able to get that. Yes. What is proper translating this? Nitya Sattvastaha means in a pure state of spiritual existence. That means I am a spirit soul which is eternal. You remain fixed in that consciousness. And now I must realize that self. Translation. It is not so easy to meditate like this. You are meditating on time. You see, just think, as if you will not eat till 9:30, you will die. Will you die? Can you die? No, basically, you are looking at time to think that something is more important than discussion of Bhagavad Gita. Just imagine. That's how our mind tricks. किसने देखा? मैंने देखा जिसने देखा. Is it not? Something which is most purifying. उसको भी हम टाइम ही देखते रहते हैं. खाना खाते समय टाइम नहीं देखते. 8:45 हो गया. 9 बज गए. 9:15 बज गए. Be absorbed in Bhagavad Gita right now. The way ट्रेन पकड़नी है. ट्रेन तो नहीं पकड़नी ना। ये तो इस छोटी क्लास में ही दिक्कत है कि सबकी आंखें भी दिख जाती है, कहाँ देख रही है। The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Did you notice the word mainly? Mainly, what does it mean? What did I explain mainly? What was the import of the word mainly? Mainly means primarily. मुख्य रूप से कर्मकांड के बारे में बोल रहे हैं। And now I say, why mainly? Because people are of that lower consciousness only. So they have to be risen above their consciousness. Lower consciousness. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxiety for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Gita Bhushan commentary. Even in performing activities without expecting results, that means doing Nishkam Karma Yoga, the actions will bring about their results by the very nature of action. Because if there is action, there has to be reaction. Then how is it possible for those executing actions without desire to develop fixed intelligence? The beautiful this was answer. You understand this point? The Lord told those who are doing some yajna and they are attached for material results, they will get those material results for Swarga and everything. So a confusion can be there. If I am doing the same actions, I may not desire the results, but the result will come. It is not like that. If you do not desire Swarga, you will not go to Swarga. It's not that everybody who chants Hare Krishna has to go to Swarga. If he has a desire, with that he executes dharma, then he goes there. समझ में आ रहा ना मेरी बात? आपको यज्ञ कर रहे हैं, यज्ञ करने के द्वारा इच्छा है स्वर्ग प्राप्ति करने की, तो स्वर्ग प्राप्त होगा। यज्ञ करने के द्वारा स्वर्ग प्राप्ति की इच्छा नहीं है तो नहीं होगा। बट अर्जुन सोच रहे कि अरे यज्ञ करूंगा तो स्वर्ग तो मिलेगा ही, फिर तो मैं आसक्त हो जाऊंगा। बिकॉज आई एम डूइंग एन एक्शन सम यज्ञ एंड द रिजल्ट हैज टू कम, द रिजल्ट वाज स्वर्ग, so I will get swarga and I will become attached. So how I will become fixed in intelligence and atma? But we must remember, if I am not desiring result of going to swarga, I'll develop the result will be I will develop atma gyan. Is getting too much complicated or समझ में आ रहा है? Any dharma, varnashram dharma, if done with the attitude of selflessness, then it will bring about atma gyan. Obviously, I'm not talking about duties in this material world now. In material world means what is prescribed by society now, because that is not as per varnashram. If you work in a factory, that is not varnashram thing. I mean, difficult to say that if you get purified by this. Trigunyam means actions composed of the three gunas according to the sutra of Panini. Guna vachana brahmanadibhya karmani cha. I don't want to go to Sanskrit. I don't know about these things. This further implies that the Vedas Karma Kanda are materialistic. The Karma Kanda section of the Vedas deals with actions in the three modes for self-enjoyment. However, you should become fixed in the Vedanta, which is the topmost part of the Vedas, and you should be Nishkam, Nistrayagundya. All those things are clear or difficult to understand? Trigunya means which are referring to the enjoyment which is derived from the three modes of material nature, and Nistrayagundya means do not seek your happiness from material enjoyment. It's very simple. Okay. Here is the meaning. Now hear very clearly, very carefully. The Vedas, more affectionate than millions of parents, give people faith in the Vedas by pacifying desires and bestowing results to the people turned away from the Lord, who are bound to the gunas and attached to happiness in sattva, rajas and tamas produced by the gunas. Following the Vedas with such faith, they finally achieve real intelligence with conviction in Atma revealed in the Upanishads, the topmost portion of the Vedas. Even if the acts are not desireless, this result will come, since the scriptures speak of this result. One should also not think that all the Vedas are concerned only with the three gunas. Otherwise, even the state of transcendence of the gunas could not be proved, since the Vedas are the source of proof of transcendence as well. Beautiful point. I'd like to explain this. See, people who are completely grossly materialistic, they will not follow any rules and regulations. This is clear? And they will simply enjoy as per their previous life's impressions, whether it's mode of goodness, passion, whatever. So now what the Vedas say, This living entity has turned away from Krishna. I'm going very slow, and if anything you don't understand, you please explain to me. You can ask me. This living entity has turned away from Krishna, is completely averse to hearing Krishna's words. So the Vedas are designed in a way that they will prescribe certain procedures. It's called dharma, kamya dharma, kamya karma. That you, my dear condition, they will not say soul, but you are Kshatriya. If you do like this, then if you don't give up a battle and if you die in a dharma battle, you will go to Swarga. There is any talk of soul? No. But here, don't ask question immediately. Now, if that person is following that dharma, then the Vedas are designed in a way that he will get purified. This is sinking in or not? The Vedas are designed in a way that he will get purified. If he follows that, although it will obviously go for very long, many lifetimes. That's what Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan has explained. Even if he has material desires, and with those material desires is following the prescription of Vedas, the Vedas are designed in a way so that a person will become purified. And then slowly, and he will become disgusted with material sense gratification. It will happen over a long period of time, but it will definitely happen. But if he enjoys material sense gratification without hearing Vedas, his consciousness will only glide down and down. समझ में आ रहा है ये बात क्यों कह रहे हैं? Okay. Now, then as his consciousness evolves by the prescription of this karma kanda slowly, then he will slowly become attracted and he will be exposed to the Vedanta portion of the Vedas, which tells us about transcendence. Just like we hear about Bhagavad Gita. We hear from Bhagavad Gita, we are soul. So there is something which soul which exists, is it not? And that we've heard so many quotations from Upanishad. Anumaniyams, and then it is Balagra, Shatabhagra. All those things are there from Upanishads. Did you remember? Katha Upanishad, Gita, all these things. So Upanishads talk about the realization of soul, which is transcendence. And then they also talk about Krishna, Bhagavan. So what we are trying to say, are you able to understand the gradual evolution? Even if a person is if you give the knowledge of soul to a person who is very materially attached, he may not be able to accept immediately. Can you give the knowledge of soul to your father now?
Yes.
Can you give the knowledge of soul to your father? Will he listen? No. Same with me. I tried to explain to my father, he never listened. He asked me one time, hey, kya Hare Krishna karne se kya? Nahin. Why should I believe there is Swarga and hell? I asked him, why should I believe you are my father? He became completely. The basis is mother, is it not? He become. He was just kept quiet. No, he could not answer. He was just chup ho gaya. Kuch bol hi nahi paya kya? It was a spontaneous question I asked. How do we know? My mother. So now just see. That's why I never preached to my father. He could never accept even a drop of philosophy. Do you accept that? Can your father accept that you are soul? Just cannot. So, but how we can bring that kind of person to within the fold of Vedas? If you do this yajna, you will get very big benefit. You will get a lot of dhan. Then a person will do yajna. Just like, example, my sister and my family, they had some Kal Sarpadosh, I don't know. Richa Mataji may know better than this. So now that Kal Sarpadosh, they gone all the way to Ujjain and worship Lord Shiva, and then all this thing can be gone away so that their business will not become bad. So you see, but they at least worship Lord Shiva. Something they did, is it not? Otherwise they were just living like anything. Not worshipping anybody. But now anyhow they are devotees, they chant Hare Krishna, that's a different thing. So what I'm trying to say, are you able to appreciate these points? They could not immediately understand Hare Krishna, going to Vaikuntha, Goloka, nothing. So Vedas are very mercifully, very gradually bringing the gross conditioned soul towards Krishna. Does it make sense? Okay. We will go forward. So, and the other point which is mentioned was, we cannot say that Vedas do not have anything which is talking about transcendence. Because Vedas themselves are saying about soul and super soul and Paramatma. Certain sections of the Vedas talk about that. I give an example. Like a small kid in nursery, can he understand 1 minus 2? एक में से दो कैसे निकालेंगे? He can't understand. But is there something called 1 minus 2? Yes. 1 minus 2 is equals to minus 1. So he can only understand 1 plus 1 equals 2, which is correct. So that understanding is given, but as he will evolve, he will also be told 1 minus 2 also is there. And not only that, imaginary numbers are there. If somebody has studied mathematics, he knows all those points. So depending on the gradual evolution of the consciousness of the living entity, that particular knowledge is arranged by the Lord to be given to him. All of you are very exalted in consciousness. That's why you have interest in Bhagavad Gita and you can understand Bhagavad Gita. And that's why Bhagavad Gita is coming in front of you. Always reflect upon this. It's not that everybody will accept Bhagavad Gita. Don't you see, yesterday I asked Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita you accept? Yes, Bhagavad Gita, very nice. You ask him how many times you have read Bhagavad Gita? No, not many times. Maybe not even one time. But they have, Indian body means natural faith and Shastra. Even Rickshawala knows about previous birth and all these things. Again, I'm repeating this point. Do not misutilize this Indian body. It's a jaguar. Jaguar, you can run very fast towards Krishna. Prabhupada used to say, Indians are 10 steps away from God and foreigners are 100 steps away. But they are coming towards Krishna. Indians are going away from Krishna. This is the problem. One of our, I don't know how much that is true, but Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada disciple, some astrologer told him, they are very powerful astrologers, they are called Bhrugus. And he said, you were a Brahmana in Pakistan, but you did some offense and you were born in America. But because he was a Brahmana, he was a devotee, I don't know, devotee or Brahmana, but something. So again he came to Krishna consciousness. So life after life we are carrying this. It is not very far. When were you born, Rudra? In this life, just normal sense, when were you born? 1996. Is it very far off date? बहुत पुरानी date है क्या? And in 94 where you were deeply absorbed in something else except Krishna. I repeat this because it doesn't enter into our head. And we are similarly absorbed selling tiles. What is that? Doing some MBA. And yes, we must do MBA. Krishna's MBA. Mind, buddhi, man, buddhi, ahankar, management. Management of man, buddhi, ahankar. I have no problem people doing this, but actually are wasting so much of our time. So much of our human life's time in this. Before I go forward, I'll say something more heavy. I heard from Maharaj. If you are working for 8 hours for somebody, are you not selling yourself for 8 hours to that person? And how much? हमारा समय बड़ा कीमती है भाई. उस कीमती मनुष्य जीवन के लिए हमको कितने पैसे दे रहा है? वो 20,000 रुपए, 30,000 रुपए, 40,000 है ना? The rare human form of life, very rare time, we are selling it for 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, or even 1 crore rupees, useless. And with spending all this money, are we going to get that even one moment back, human form of life? I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm just making you think about it. And if those moments are invested in Krishna Katha, Krishna Seva, amazing. Don't you feel so happy doing something for Gomata? Simple things. Is it not, Prabhuji? Doing the same business for ourselves is so boring. But the same thing, if I say, okay, you to become in charge of Gomata, you will become very happy. This is amazing. Serving Krishna is always very happy. Anyhow, maybe somebody will listen to me someday. You should tolerate the opposites by considering the previous advice. Matra spashastu konte. This is Lord explaining about nirdandva. Because people who are not tolerating the dualities, they want to avoid miseries, which is coming from sense perception, which is coming from like, I want sense gratification. Then the mind will not remain fixed in Krishna consciousness. That's why Lord says nirdvandha. That's why he says matra sparshastu konteya, thus overcoming cold and heat. Nirdvandvaha. What is the cause? You should observe. Why should I tolerate these dualities? You should observe the eternally non-transforming state of the jiva, nitya sattvastha. Are you able to understand the meaning of the word nitya sattvastha? If I control my senses, then I will develop the ability to see that I am not changing. I can see myself different from the body. Make sense? If we enjoy our senses, before enjoying our senses, what should come in our heart? Before we really want to enjoy our senses, really very nicely, what should we think? Huh? I'll get happiness. Okay, I am this body. First thing you have to see, understand is I am this body, and then it will come. I will get happiness. I will not get happiness. The body and mind will have something which is how to say, little anukul maybe favorable towards the body and mind, but nothing to do with the soul. Now, are you able to relate the words nirdvantah with nitya satvastah? If I am involved in trying to enjoy the material world, then I can never be situated as myself. That's why I say vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. Then when our senses become purified by being engaged in Krishna's service, then we can see ourselves as eternal and not different, and eternal and not dying soul. What do we worry about anything? If you honestly think actually you are soul, will you work for a job? Is it not? At least we should admit, Arey Baba, I am in ignorance. I am soul, and why should I work for a job? Our Papa is here, Mummy is here. Papa is Krishna, Mummy is Radharani. We are getting nice prasadam. Why should I work for outside people? Is it not? At least the boys. What do you think, Prem Krishna? Papa is providing nice food. Mummy is so caring. Why should I work for outside people? है ना? आप अपने पापा के लिए तो काम कर रहे हैं ना? क्यों पापा के लिए काम कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि पापा है, इसलिए simple. I am working for my papa because he's my papa. Do you demand salary from him? Why you are working for free there? This Yash cheater, he is working, rascal number 1, he is working for free. क्या होगा तुम्हें अगर घर से निकाल देंगे तो? That's what people say, is it not? कभी तो सोचते हैं? नहीं सोचते ना? And तुम ब्रह्मचारी बन गए तो क्या होगा, तुम्हें निकाल देंगे? क्यों निकाल देंगे भाई? कितने प्रेम से तो रख रहे हैं, is it not? A nice devotee who is serving nicely, is doing very nicely Krishna conscious. Why temple will throw? I know most degraded people are tolerated in temple. I must admit, useless, even sometimes crazy people are tolerated. Anyway, I don't know why people have to work hard. I don't understand why they have to work hard. Maybe it's their karma. After that, makes no attempts to attain what you do not yet have, and make no attempts to protect what you already possess. समझ में आया? ना शोचति ना कांक्षति. Whatever you have, this is very important. A devotee, whatever comes by little endeavor for his bodily maintenance, by Krishna's mercy, he is satisfied with that. He is not hankering after material objects. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ऐसा. It's not. Only thing he hankers is, I'm not able to chant Hare Krishna. I can chant more. I can hear more. That hankering is very good. That lalsa should be good, but not material hankerings. At least that is the standard. But then will not hunger and thirst be a problem? भूख लगेगी तो क्या करेंगे? No, be a person whose object of meditation is Paramatma, Atmavan, the supporter of the universe, and he will take care of your bodily maintenance. It may be difficult for many people to accept this, but that's how it is. माँ के गर्भ में कौन सा जॉब कर रहे थे आप? What kind of job we were doing in the womb of our mother? And can anybody give anything from outside? Everything was arranged by the Lord. So a devotee should think, how in this life I can serve Krishna's exclusive desire that this message of Krishna consciousness should be spread. That should be the absorption of a devotee. Before I go further, a beautiful thing I read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am surprised how devotees are not seeing it. Srila Prabhupada says we are Saraswat Gotra. Saraswate. And what is the goal of this Saraswate Gotra people? Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatar. Beautifully Prabhupada explains it. Our goal is that we establish that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. It is a personality, he is not an impersonal God. And what is Shunyavadi, and is also not zero. That is the goal of our, so in a sense, that's the goal of our Gotra. Very nice. She preached this message of Krishna consciousness. Purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. Easy to understand? They are meant for fruitive activities which cause bondage in the material world. That means fruitive activities means I'll get this fruit for myself and enjoy, and then again I'll desire the same thing, I'll do the same thing, and then again I'll remain bound to the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities, that means karma kanda, to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Have you all understood this line, or should I have to explain again? You understood? Yes, you are saying yes just so that we can finish in time? No, okay. Arjuna as a student, I'll again repeat this. Gross sense gratifier, he is offered nice sense gratification by Vedas, but rule follow karna padega. You have to follow the rule. By following the rules, he will gradually become detached from sense enjoyment propensity, gradually. And then he will come to the Jnana Kanda portion of the Vedas who talk about transcendence, and then he will do that kind of sadhana. So gradually he will do. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa, that means who am I? Or questions on the supreme transcendence. Athat Brahma Jigyasa Janmad Asyatah. Who am I and from where this whole world has come? This is a very simple point we hear so many times. But we a person never asks this question. From where the door has come? From where this earth has come? From where my body has come? No, we don't ask, is it not? What do we ask? Eating, where is food? Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Are you able to get this point? So this human form of life is meant for that kind of inquiry. Now, what I wanted to say something was, it is that Prabhupada is also clearly explaining the word. What is it? How shloka was the shloka was? Hold on. Where is the word? Arjuna. The word Arjuna. So Nistraya Guna Bhavarjuna. Arjuna, by saying Arjuna, he's indicating you are my friend. You are my relative. You are not supposed to behave in the way these materialistic people behave. That's what Srila Prabhupada is explaining. You see here, Prabhupada says this. Arjuna as a student and friend of the Lord. So by addressing Arjuna as Arjuna, he says, you are Shishasteham, you have accepted me as a spiritual master. Is it not in the same chapter? It is not expected of you to behave like a materialistic person. Prabhupada says this in his purports elsewhere. Devotees should not dress like materialistic people. Flashy clothes and flashy everything, very costly. All those things will make us more bodily conscious. Radheshyam Prabhu says that every time I put a new dhoti kurta, I think I'm a body. It's a nice observation, Nice dhoti kurta. Even saffron, nice, acha color hai. Then we become conscious. A small pastime of Mahaprabhu. When Sanatana Goswami first met Mahaprabhu, he gave up everything. But he had a bhot kambal, which was very costly. So Mahaprabhu, every time Sanatana Goswami would come, Mahaprabhu would look at the kambal. Then he understood. Then he went to Ganga, in Kashi at that time he was there, in Ganga. And there was a beggar who was having this very useless quilt. So then he said, you take this bhot kambal, Sanatana Goswami said, you take this bhot kambal and you give me this old quilt. Then that beggar said, you are a look to me a very grave and gentlemanly person. Why are you making fun of me? Then Sanatana Goswami says, no, I'm not making it. You take this. So when he brought that quilt with him, then Mahaprabhu appreciated this. He said that you are in a renounced order. And if you go to somebody's place and ask for, beg for some money or whatever, then they will look at your bhot kambal, very costly, said, what kind of renunciate you are? Like that. The idea is obviously we don't have that capacity of renunciation, are not expected from us, but we should live a simple life, not a extravagant, pompous, extravagant we should not have. Yes. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. Do you know this? You have heard this several times. Why? Because we are soul, we are eternal, and everything around us is non-eternal. And we are holding on to it. Asad grah, you understand? Holding on. Asad means non-eternal and we are holding on to it. what will happen? Struggle. So that's why he's saying Atmaman. You realize nothing is going to hold now for me. Let me focus on Krishna consciousness as long as I'm in this body. Reflect upon this. As long I am in this body, let me focus on Krishna consciousness. And I don't know how long I will be in this body. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. You understand the point? अरे एक बुक में भी अलग अलग कंटेंट होते हैं ना, लेवल 1, लेवल 2, लेवल 3. नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड. The level 1 is Karma Kanda, level 2 is Jnana Kanda, and level 3 is Bhakti. Does it make sense? Because by Jnana Kanda you can only realize Atma, but you cannot realize Paramatma or Krishna. Krishna you can only realize by Bhakti. Now things should be very clear. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life, where the sadhaka is aiming for realization of himself. That is called transcendence, not material enjoyment. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. Realizing that I'm soul, one should not lament for all those things. This will come and go. Just like winter is coming, you don't lament winter is coming. You don't lament when summer is coming. Now summer is coming or not? We continue with our Krishna consciousness or not? Does Lord say if you chant Hare Krishna you will not feel heat? Person may become illusioned by this kind of illusory conceptions. Whether you do bhakti or don't do bhakti, you will feel the heat, you will feel the cold, or whatever. Sickness will come or not will come. But if you tolerate this and remain fixed, oh, this is all arranged by the Lord, especially for devotees, you tolerate it and keep on continuing bhakti without complaining and doing the needful. Be very careful. It's not that we don't have to wear a sweater when it is cold. We do the needful, but tolerating the dualities, we keep on marching towards Godhead by chanting Hare Krishna, by doing bhakti to Krishna. Are we 100% sure that we'll get nice prasadam now? You see, you're saying yes, but not necessarily. Even with a nice intention that devotee is making, it may not be nice, palatable. Sometimes it happens. Now if you start cursing the cook and all these things, we waste that time which could have been spent in Krishna consciousness. ठीक है? This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. What does it mean? It means that a person realizes that Krishna is my maintainer. And we hear it's a fact, but normally a person whose heart is not pure, he won't be able to accept it. So then by chanting Hare Krishna, by hearing and by contemplating again and again, then we can understand Krishna is my maintainer. I am doing a job. What if my mind goes haywire? Then they will keep you in job. All the food we are getting is all by Krishna's mercy. It's not by somebody's money or something. आज बनाए हैं आप लोग कभी 100 रुपए के पकोड़े बनाए? So when anybody will eat 100 rupee note pakoda? Nothing. Okay, let me just take up questions on Zoom and then I'll take questions here. Yesterday we read immortal word in Vedas talking about if you do this and that you get this immortal bhoga. So herein why Vedas are using the word immortal? Because it's true, this material world is nashwar, even Swarga too. So why Vedas just don't tell the complete truth? I think that's very easy to understand. Unless you tell that conditioned soul that you will get eternal enjoyment, he will not do that action or prescribed in the Vedas. That's why they said they're like this. Okay, and we know that Swarga is not eternal. Try to understand. 1 plus 1 is 2. That much only that boy can understand. If you say 1 minus 2, then this nursery boy will definitely get confused. And if you don't believe me, in the kids zone, the kids can be told about this. 1 minus 2 is equals to They can't get that. So this is level 1, level 2, level 3 like this. So that's how. I give a small example. It will come in Bhagavatam. Angira Rishi had met Maharaj Chitraketu. And at that time, he had a very great desire to get a son. And he had 1 crore wives, but he was not able to get any son. At that time, Angira Rishi said, okay, I'll give you a son, but will cause of unhappiness to you. So now he said, okay, maybe he will not be good and all that. That's why the son was called Harshashok. Anyhow, the son dies, and then then Naradji and Angira Rishi come again, and then they bring the son to life, and then he gives transcendental knowledge. Quite interesting episode in Bhagavatam. But then the same question can be asked, why it was not given, the same transcendental knowledge was not given to Chitraketu Maharaj earlier? He was lamenting, he could not hold that knowledge. So he had to go through that suffering, understanding the material enjoyment is actually miserable, then he could accept it. And then within 1 week he realized Sankarshan Dev. So you understand the point? Ved ka vachan satya hai, so why the above statement is getting totally antithetical? Yes, Vedas are true. Very good question. Vedas are addressing a particular mentality of the conditioned soul. If that mentality is to enjoy, how to rectify that mentality and how to bring it within the fold of Vedas. I give a very nicely example. It is not for the ultimate benefit of the conditioned soul, but he will at least be on the path where he can one day hear what is good for him ultimately. Very subtle points we can pick up. Very nice example. I think it is Radha Govind Maharaj, as well as Radha Govind Maharaj. He glorifies Vrindavan. And by his words, so many people come to Vrindavan. One of his disciples, he told, what are you doing now? He said, I am taking people in Vrindavan for tours. Then Maharaj himself said, you please take some contact in America, and by that you can get some accommodation in America. Now the same Maharaj who is explaining people to come to Vrindavan, why is saying that to that person? Seeing his consciousness, because seeing his desires, he said like that. Not that Maharaj wants him to go there, to do like that. Are you able to get this point? If you have chanted Hare Krishna nicely, then you will get this point. The Vedas are giving tatkalik, that till that point only. Seeing the consciousness of the person, the Vedas saying you do Swarga. They don't talk about Krishna to that person. Nahi samajh mein aa raha hai. Just like Krishna also talks about some philosophy, atheistic philosophy in Govardhan Leela, but it was just for the purpose of making Indra angry. We don't accept that philosophy. Even Krishna was speaking. Whatever Krishna speaks is perfect. But there he was perfectly doing it only to make Indra angry. Arey, there is no Ishwar. We work nicely and we'll get enjoyment. Karma mansa. It appears from this verse that we should do selective filtering of the Vedas, that is, accept only bhakti portion from Vedas and not follow anything else. Yes, you're intelligent to understand this. Now, what if someone does selective filtering out of the Vedas which talk about bhakti only, for example, accepting only some slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and not accepting others? That is wrong. Because Bhagavatam is, we have heard about in 1.1.3, Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukhmukhat amrit drav sanyutam pibat bhagavatam rasam malayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavaka. So that there are two descriptions of rasam and phalam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is fruit of Vedic literature. So fruit. So immediately say fruit. Acha, mango fruit. Mango fruit, chilka is not eaten and butli is not eaten. So something can be discarded from Bhagavatam, but to negate that, what is said? Rasam. Rasam, no, rasam. It is rasam. Rasam is not sambar rasam. Rasam is juice. Just like juice is drunk, similarly, there is nothing to be rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is only nectar. And if you say rasam, then it will have this juice. It must have fallen down in the ground and would have become contaminated. Then maybe something can be rejected. No. It is phalam. It is intact, but juice. It has nothing which can be rejected. So from the Bhagavatam itself, we know there is nothing to be rejected from Bhagavatam. And obviously, Bhagavad Gita, Sar of all Upanishads, Sarva Upanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopala Nandana, Parthava Sasudir Bhakta, Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat. Gita is Amrit. What part of Amrit will you reject, Shrudra Prabhu? If there is something Amrita, not even a single drop. Aur pilau, drink me. We want ani or, bring more. So Bhagavad Gita is Amrit. Nothing should be rejected. If a person accepts this kind of attitude, I'll accept this shloka of Bhagavad Gita and I not accept this shloka of Bhagavad Gita, then he's making a big mistake. It's called Ardha Kukut Nyaya. You know this Ardha Kukut Nyaya? I'll explain this. One person had a hen, and hen was fed from the mouth and she was giving eggs from the backside. Oh, this is very good. The back portion is very nice, but the front portion, the head is not good. Let me get the head and then I'll get the eggs only. It doesn't work like that. So every word of Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted in toto as it is. That's what Prabhupada said this. Okay? But it's still a good question. You should observe eternally non-transforming state of jiva. Whatever sukh and dukh comes in our way, उन्हें साक्षी भाव से देखते हैं. Does this matches? Yeah. I must observe that these happiness and distress have nothing to do with me. My real me. Real me is not a phone. Real me is myself. Okay? Very difficult. Now every word is meaning has changed. Apple. Apple means laptop. No, Apple means apple. Very complicated. And what is that? Some berry also was there? Phone? Blackberry. The Blackberry is not a phone. Every term has to be different. Is Achyuta and Saraswati Gotra same? Yes. Saraswata Gotra. That is a special purport of Srila Prabhupada. Even gopis used to groom very well for Krishna. Yeah, that's fine. So when you go to preach, you dress yourself nicely. See, the point is, we are not saying that you dress badly, but don't dress extravagantly. We don't have to wear a silk kurta to preach. Will you listen to my Bhagavad Gita class only when I'll wear a silk kurta? I don't have a plan for it. Does it make sense? Just because others are wearing like that, or very flashy. People have this, blue kurta and a same cloth, blue bead bag, and then something written on this nicely. All those fashion statements are not there. This only increases our false ego. Okay. So we are not doing it for Krishna. Krishna is happy just like Mahaprabhu is happy if we keep our life simple. Fine. We are not saying that you go around in rags. Simple dhoti kurta, simple life, okay. The result of our action depends on only our desires, but desires also fulfills by our previous pious actions. Then action depends on our desires, or our desires depend on actions. Both are there. It's very, these devotees are becoming too intelligent. Hey, don't chant Hare Krishna, you're becoming too much intelligent, asking difficult questions. You see, if we don't hear Shastra, we will behave as per our previous conditioning and desires. Fine? But if we hear Shastra, even if those desires are there, we will not behave. We will take actions as per Shastra, and then they will create further desires. So the breaking point is Shastra in life. That's why we must always preach Krishna consciousness to as many people as possible. Very simple example you understand. If somebody is in forest, what he will do? This direction, that direction, this direction, that direction. He will not reach anywhere. That's what the conditioned soul is happening with him in this material world. But if somebody comes somehow and shows mercy, hey, go this way, this is right. Please hear, he is still in the forest, but now he's moving out of the forest. That's why Krishna says the person who gives this knowledge to others who have little faith is most dear to him. And focus your life like this. I want to please Krishna, something which he wants me to really do, preach message of Bhagavad Gita. And obviously for that we have to do sadhana, then we can understand these things. Okay? So only when we hear Shastra like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, then we know this is not good, I will not do it. Just like if you go outside and see a Rasgulla, will you eat? No. At least you'll first offer to Krishna. Is it not? Okay. Are you doing this, my dear devotees? Yes. Only when you can't see on Zoom, we eat some chocolates. Also, how can we help people whose minds are so much attached to material desires? It's all case-to-case basis. I also say like this, one of our person who's helping us in our marketing said, if you chant Hare Krishna, whatever you need will get fulfilled. Now it's a very dubious statement. He's translating like this. Oh, I need a very great business. Yeah, I'll chant Hare Krishna. He's coming to chant Hare Krishna. But what I said, Whatever you need, you really need Krishna consciousness. So you can always speak like this. And he's actually coming and he's seeing that. He's chanting Hare Krishna, his business is flourishing. But also he's a devotee. So you get my point? So case to case basis. If you chant Hare Krishna, like Yashika is telling, if I get, my schools are opening, and if I chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds, my studies will go well. I'm like, yes. I did not tell which studies. I did not tell which studies. Yes, why not? Why not? Be intelligent. This means if one is reading Vedas, then it should be read fully, not partially. Don't read Vedas. Read Bhagavad Gita and Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. Read Bhagavatam. That the person of Vedas himself says, Kim va parair Ishvara. By reading any other scriptures, does the Supreme Lord immediately becomes captured in the heart? The answer is no. That means don't read anything. Just like if you have a tree, will you be interested in fruit or in counting the number of leaves in the tree? You are not intelligent. You should first count the number of leaves in the tree. Why should we? Yes. When you get this mango, nice mango, which has no juice, which has no chilka, skin, and there is no gutli also. Who cares about the leaves? Suna hai na, aam khaiye pet mat giniye. So don't go to Vedas, there is no point, and there is no teacher also properly available, and there is no use. Vedash sarver aham eva vedyo. The whole purpose of Vedas is to know Krishna, and bhaktya maam abhijanati. Merge the two sentences together. Purpose of Vedas is to know Krishna, not to enjoy Svarga. And by bhakti you know Krishna. So then, and highest bhakti is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And it's very easy to read Vedas like this, because simply by chanting Hari, you have several times read Vedas. So every day we are reading Vedas. Is it not 28,000 times minimum? If you chant 16 rounds, 28,000 times you are reading Vedas. Am I saying something just to motivate you? No. Aho bata sapachato gariyan yet jivva agre vartate nama tubhyam te pustava junu shashnu arya brahmanuchur nama granantiyete. A person who's chanting Hare Krishna, brahmanuchur, he has read the Vedas several times. So Milind, you can go ahead reading Vedas, we'll chant Hare Krishna. No. Why? You will be in a party only? Okay. You have any questions here? Yes, bro.
What if we are traveling in a bus or a train?
We are traveling in a bus or train, then?
Buy some fruits and mentally can we offer?
Can we offer food mentally? Okay, offer fruits mentally and take them mentally also. we want to eat nicely, but offer mentally. Take a picture of Krishna, Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita with you, and then even in a photo now it's available. I have seen how Gaurang Prabhu, they will make a big feast and then a photo of Radha Gopinath, and they will show in front of Kadi with a phone, and that gets offered. That's a fact. Nothing is beyond Krishna. Just like we are showing you this Mangalarti, Krishna is there in this picture form there. You can pay obeisances and he is ready to receive your obeisances there.
Already photo in mobile.
Yeah, we can. Where Prabhupada was hearing Prabhupada's lecture, kya Krishna nahi hai ye bataiye. What is not Krishna? You tell me that. Everything is energy. One thing which is not Krishna. And when you see Krishna's picture, that also you can offer.
When we are traveling in train, when they're going to Mayapur, at that time we just take Tulsi and we offer photo only.
Yes, I'm saying not a problem. At least your phone is understood. It's understood. Any other questions? When are you going to leave us? This is my question. Tathastu. Okay, there are no questions. Then we'll stop here. So one more small announcement. We are going now to where is it? Hodal Dham. So we'll have class at 1:30. I'm planning to give Chaitanya Charitamrita class little bit. Maybe. I just don't know what I'm going to speak, but it's from 1:30 to 2:30. Only on Sunday. And I'm not going to leave you on evening. I'll be back for 6:30 class on Bhagavatam. Oh no! This devotee is want to torture us too much. Yes, that's my desire. So please come for 1:30 to 2:30 class, and if you like, you can also come to 6:30 class. And we'll also have Bhakti Vrish. Today is extra hearing. Okay. And I will ask your name and ask you Ahar Nidra Bhai Matan Shlok. Oh no! Yes. So you have to remember that shloka. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tai Gaur Premanande.